Best advice to students that find their debt overwhelming, and I would extend that to veterinarians as well, right? So there are certain things you can do, and ideally we'd like to get in front of folks before they start borrowing and help them influence those decisions that they make that can impact the amounts that they borrow, right? So like we just talked about, attending as an in-state student is almost imperative now as a veterinarian. But if you don't, or while you're in school, things that you can do to keep those costs down are to look for sources of funds that don't accumulate interest while you're in school. Those are few and far between, but things like health profession student loans and Perkins loans don't accumulate interest while you're in school, but not all programs have them available. So making sure that you're looking at a program that might have those loans available, looking for programs that have grants and scholarships. Those are monies that you don't have to pay back, which is great. The federal borrowing system, if nothing else, is efficient. So when you get to graduate school, they will offer you as much as you need, up to what's called the cost of attendance. You may not need that much. So if you know how much you need, you can return or refuse the amounts that are awarded to you. And the best way to not have to pay back debt is not to take on all of the money that they offer you, right? So interest really accumulates fast and furious while you're in vet school now, because the amounts that we borrow are so high and the interest rates are not that favorable. You end up graduating with a lot higher starting repayment balance than you may have anticipated simply because of the interest. So while you're in school, just being aware of the amounts that you're borrowing and the opportunities for borrowing lower cost funds. Once you get out of school, getting familiar with income-driven repayment options is probably your best bet. So like we talked about earlier, having your payment based on your income rather than having it based on your total debt balance can be hugely helpful, because now no matter what you're doing, whether you're doing an internship, a residency, working for a shelter, working in a private practice, no matter what your level of starting income or recent graduate income is, you can have a payment towards your student loans that's manageable, a manageable percent of your income, generally 10 to 15% of your income, no matter what your student loan balance is. Now that will have consequences in the long term, but in the short term, getting started and not trying to pay too much of your disposable income towards your student debt is a better strategy than burying yourself with trying to pay off that debt as fast as possible. One thing I will add to that is you have to be really careful of the advice that you get from your mentors, your parents, folks who didn't have income-driven repayment available when they graduated or they went through student loan repayment. Right? This is a much different game than it used to be, and paying as much as you can, as fast as you can towards your loans is not always the best advice, and in some cases it's not even possible. So income-driven repayment can actually be one of the lowest cost ways of repaying your student loans versus the traditional wisdom of paying as much as you can, as fast as you can.